Hey, what's up? So I was just on another person's page, and they were talking about how when people are making comic books, people tend to take directly from a comic book that they like and essentially make fan fiction of it and call it their own thing. And it got me thinking about how a lot of people try to find their style, um, and I feel like people tend to say that my style is unique, and the way that people say to find your style is just take a little bit from here and a little bit from there and put it together, and that's your thing. Like, take all your influences, like what do you like, put them together. And I think people know that. I think people are a little bit too afraid to be different. I don't think there's any shame in standing out, and I think people want to stand out. That's why they want to find their style, but I think they're still too scared to really not look like the people that they like. They feel like if I want to blow up, I need to look like the person who's blowing up because that's what's hot right now. But the thing that will actually get eyes on your work is by actually being different. The people that you like, they're popular because they look different. Even though those people are also taking stuff from other people, um, they've managed to put it together in a way that feels unique. And I want to talk about how to put things together that feel unique. So finding your style is basically like getting a big pot and putting as many ingredients as you can into the pot, not just one person and taking like their whole thing and chucking it in the pot. And then these characters are new, so put it in the pot, and that's unique. It's not. What you need to do is take as many things from as many people as you can, and also make sure that the thing that you're taking isn't a whole thing. For example, one of my influences is Inoue Takehiko from Slam Dunk and Vagabond. But the thing that I like about him and the thing that I take for myself isn't his whole style. It's the way that he makes his characters that are in his style still feel like real people. Like Sakuragi here, he's drawn like in a way style, but I know people who look like him in real life. I live in Japan, and he looks like a Japanese boy. So there's a way to do that, and I think that's the thing that's interesting to me. How do I make the people like I'm number one? I'm not gonna draw characters that look exactly like him. Probably because I'm probably not going to draw as many Japanese people because the stories I want to tell aren't about Japanese people. I want to tell stories about people who are like me, from people who I know. And I know Japanese people, but not all of them look like that. So the thing I want to take is not his whole style and how he draws eyes, how he draws noses, how he draws this and that. It's how do I make a character feel grounded and still stylized. That's what I like. So that's what I mean when I'm taking something, but it's not a whole thing. It's not how to draw this or what pen do I use. All those things are variables that will tweak your style. So as you can see here, I grew up drawing just like everybody else. These are the things I used to do. Just kind of copying, which is great for studying how do these people draw. But eventually, this is how things started coming out, where I'm drawing a reference photo in this style. And then I wanted to add a frame because drawing on paper like this, it doesn't feel like a complete drawing to me. I thought, why don't I try and, you know, get make it feel like a finished piece? So I started adding frames. This was inspired by a guy on Instagram, Ore. That he was my second influence, I'd say. So I figured, okay, now I've got like a frame. Things are starting to feel grounded. After that, I started adding this kind of line weight here. I started using brush pens. The pen that I use is this one here. It's a Pigma FB by Sakura. It's a lot smaller than like your regular brush pen, but I was inspired by a girl on Instagram who I forget her name, But like I used to love her work. She used to use this brush pen and it used to glide so well. And I'd never used brush pen before, but I was excited to try something new. That's key. It's like finding things that you're interested in and trying to grow constantly. And I was like, oh, let me try and use that. And I added it to the mix. I added it to the pot. So now I've got kind of real people, reference photos, anime-ish manga style, and then like simple colors. The color in the background was actually from limitation because I didn't know how to use colors. So what I ended up doing was making like I use a brush pen like this, like just for the background. I started off with red, and I just put it in there, and I would just put touches of the color in other places like this. I started adding like a highlight as well. I got like a white highlighter from somebody else that I used to saw on YouTube. I used to see on YouTube. I was like, oh, the highlight's cool. So it's these little things that I pick up over time. I use Copic markers for the shading from anime and sorry manga influence. Um, so it's all these little things. They add up, and here as well. Like I'm using kind of like my UK roots and like the music scene and the fashion over there. Like that's something that's me, and I want to be able to put it in there. I want to see how do all of these things that I'm interested in come together, and what does that look like? What do I look like? Over time, I started experimenting with just different topics, just doing like some texts and stuff. These are all still reference photos, but the one that I feel like this is my newest style is I feel like I finally reached where I wanted to be, where I'm able to draw someone who's not real. This is not a reference photo. The hand I took a photo of because I like things to look realistic, but it's more detailed. I still have the heavy line weight, but I'm going in deeper with the details, so there's a little bit more depth there. The character, I made him up, and I feel like he still feels grounded, and this is the point I was trying to get to, where I can draw my own characters. They still feel grounded and real, but it's somebody that I just made up by myself. The black frame, I kind of got rid of it because it started feeling heavy. I'd have like a post like this on Instagram, and the picture would be like inside here, like this, and it's like no one can see that. So I figured, okay, let me try not doing the frame. I started experimenting with watercolor as well. Like this one here is watercolor. Like the background here, all the color in here is watercolor because I didn't have these colors. The blue, I think, is actually the regular pen that I use, and then everything else is watercolor. Again, it's limitation. I want to try something new. I still don't know how to draw backgrounds and stuff, but it's like, okay, if I try watercolor, it's natural variation, and I can just put like a little bit of different colors in there, and it kind of gives the gist of something. So the limitation kind of creates something new. So, for example, don't take 5 things from one person. Take one thing from 5 people and make sure that all of those things speak to you on a personal level. The reason why you're doing it is not because other people are doing it. You're taking that thing because that's what you like. That's what feels good for you to draw. This tool feels good to you. You might hear about the tool, oh, I want to use that, and maybe it's like, you could do a little bit better. Find something else that gives you the same vibe but feels best to you, and that way you're not copying from people, you're getting tips from people to make your thing. As long as the thing that underlies all your choices is, does this feel good to me, do I like them, and you're spreading them thin, you'll be able to make something that feels unique, and people pay attention to things that are unique to you, not the thing that's trending right now that will make you blend in with everybody else. So, good luck.